agents are building the case, tax returns were due, but you wanted to play. I said, Umar is going to jail. The bank is closed. The judge denied bail. His sick mama at home, she not doing well. Oh, lying, sneaky Umar is gonna jail. Oh, well, pump your brakes 3 times. I said, pump your brakes 3 times. Umar too busy to pay all of his property fines. Boy, you know those bank accounts weren't froze. Trying to keep all the money you stole. Everything that glitters isn't always gold. Suing the city of Delaware was another lie he told. Every time his mouth moves, he's telling a lie. At the hotel on Instagram with a groupie getting high, Umar won't stop scamming until the day he dies. Educated hood rat, thinking he's spitting facts. Umar will never sue anyone. Your criticism should never be held back. Got 6 degrees so that he could scam. Lack of business skills got him in a jam. Uses psychology education to manipulate the black nation. Now the YouTubians are ruining his reputation. This was his fate from the very start. Scamming ass Negroes never have a heart. Big Bubba thinking about them butt cheeks being spread it apart. Big Bubba already ordered the wine. Order your Victoria's Secret tomorrow. Big Bubba about to have a good time.
Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to the channel. And shout out to Scam Records, FDMG Scams Records, man.
Is going to jail. The bank is closed.
All right, so I want to make this quick live today. It's not going to be like a lot, but it's going to be some more information that I guess a lot of people didn't see. So, and I'm trying to get used to this restream as well, so bear with me with this. However, Umar Johnson. So Marc Lamont Hill has come out here in defense of Umar Johnson, which is a fatal mistake, but we're going to let Marc Lamont Hill do what Marc Lamont Hill is going to do. However, he comes out here defending Umar Johnson, and I'm about to poke a bunch of holes in his so-called theories of Umar Johnson and his coverage of Umar Johnson in the FDMG so-called saga. So Umar Johnson, a well-known degenerate, he came out in 2021, pretty much. And this is information, if you guys have been following my channel, you know this already. He comes out in 2021, says, oh, in 3 weeks, we're going to be done with the school. 3 weeks, we're going to be done with the school. Fast forward to 2023. Where Umar Johnson comes out and says in 2023 that we're almost done. The white people got us to the finish line. You know, he comes out with his little racial hysteria. He comes out. So 2021, he said 3 weeks. 2023, he says we're at the finish line. We're in 2025, moving forward. Now, I'm going to skip over these timelines, but you guys know I've shown you guys these timelines before. It's not going to be part of this presentation. So we're looking at FDMG as it is today. We're looking at FDMG as it stands today. Now, as of today, the school still hasn't been finished. 15 years of donation. Umar has given many dates of the opening. The first recorded date was 2013. Now, this is what Marc Lamont Hill is out here defending. So we're going to get into Marc Lamont Hill real soon, and it's going to be a lot of information covering Marc Lamont Hill. Umar has exceeded expectations with the many scams that he's done. I talked to you guys about the shockumentary. I talked to you guys about all these other stuff that he's done. He's doing that now, the day with the doctor. There's been plenty of scams he's done in the meantime, in between the FDMG school scam. And he's primarily focused on his, in my opinion, he's primarily focused on his propaganda that he spills on Instagram. Oh, thank you. There's his stuff that he does on Instagram, traveling, collecting money, and of course, he has plenty of excuses for his imaginary school. Ignore the 6-year-old in the background. He has plenty of excuses on the imaginary school. And in January of 2025, he went and got his Ghanaian citizenship. So this is what Umar Johnson's primary focus has been. So we're talking about the FDMG progress. So what has been stopping him? What has been stopping Umar Johnson? Let's go over this. The primary reasons why FDMG isn't finished. Well, of course, number one, the haters. Online struggle streamers such as myself. Number two, you guys just aren't donating enough. You Negroes know you got money that you need to go give him. You still haven't gave him the money. Number three, online detractors, which is, I guess, different from the haters because he makes a difference between that. So I put online detractors across the world are preventing Umar Johnson from physically being in Wilmington, Delaware, and of course, finishing school. Number four, and we're going to love this. The school isn't finished because he needs one more thing. Now, we've heard that plenty of times. And of course, this is a new talking point that I'm hearing from these people. Of course, the We on Locks and everybody, and they're telling us right now that we're just not educated enough to understand that Umar Johnson is finished with the school, and if school is almost in progression to being done, we're just not educated enough to understand their sophisticated way of thinking. So, moving on from that, the real questions that nobody has answers for that I pretty much came up with these questions myself. I hear like the consensus from everybody, so I came up with this. Who is on Umar's team? We hear about the team all the time. Who's on there? Why is there still no website after 15 years? Just common sense questions. Why in 2025 did the bills accumulate so much after years that the school almost went up for auction when we know that Umar Johnson had almost $200,000 in liquid assets? Almost $200,000 in liquid assets going into 2025. Why was there almost an auction? That makes absolutely no sense, Umar Johnson. That you have almost $200,000 in liquid assets, but you can't use any of that money to pay these bills, so you have to go on another collection route. Okay, whatever. Why does FDMG, according to the tax paperwork, have one freaking staff member who's Umar Johnson? He's the janitor. He's the accountant. I mean, these are questions that we need to ask. Why? Okay, next question. I'm gonna skip over the next one, but this is a very important right here. Why is there no CPA with certified public accountant, banker, or any professional control over the finance? Now, I'm asking these questions as I build up towards the Marc Lamont Hill part of this live stream, because Marc Lamont Hill has came out in defense of Umar Johnson. Now, Marc Lamont Hill has a business. If you guys don't know, Marc Lamont Hill has a physical business, which is a bookstore that he operates out of. This is besides the fact that he has all these podcasts going on. Marc Lamont Hill is pretending to be stupid all of a sudden. This guy has a PhD in urban education. I'm not gonna worry about that. What's that? Anthropology or whatever. I'm not gonna worry about that because he doesn't teach it, but he does have a PhD in it apparently. He taught at Temple University, Morehouse, and CUNY in New York City. And while I referenced this before, he's a professor. He's a professor of urban education, which he teaches at these universities. This is Marc Lamont Hill, and as I said before, he has a business. He has an actual functioning business in Philadelphia, and this is going to be important because it relates to FDMG. That he actually has a business, a functioning business, while Umar Johnson has a imaginary school that's in his head with just functioning buildings. Marc Lamont Hill, he's doing all this other stuff right now. YouTube channel. He's on Al Jazeera. He has his own website. He owns the store over there in Philadelphia, which is Uncle Bobby's Coffee and Books. He's a host on the Joe Budden podcast. He associates with the Griot. He's a former host of the Black News Network. They pretty much got all the bougie people to team up with. He teaches at Temple University. He taught at Temple University. He now teaches at CUNY. And he also taught at Morehouse. So why am I saying all this about Marc Lamont Hill? It goes into the fact that Marc Lamont Hill owns his own business, which is Uncle Bobby's Coffee Shop and Books. So Marc Lamont Hill knows what it means to own a business. He knows the functionality of a business. He knows how it operates, that there need to be a team there. He knows all this. As you can see in these pictures right here, these are pictures of the actual place. Functioning building, signage, people inside, reading, taking pictures, socializing. Go right here. And you can see this. You look at the streets right here. You got people on the streets. You got cars on the street. You don't see it with FDMG. FDMG look like one abandoned street with nothing going on in a boarded up building. But this is the building that Marc Lamont Hill owns right here. So I asked Marc Lamont Hill, why would you support this business that Umar Johnson has been promoting for 15 years. He's been collecting money for 15 years. Why are you out here telling people and promoting this business that Umar Johnson has been collecting money for 15 years? When you own this business, and it's a nice looking business. Look at this. You see screenshots of it right here. This is the Uncle Bobby's Books and Coffee. But you see people around there. You see life happening. You see people vibing with the area and all that stuff. You don't see that with Umar Johnson's schools. If anything, you just see him yelling at kids. That's actually the most people I've seen at that school over the last decade was when the police showed up and all those kids were out there. That's the most I've ever seen. So why would Marc Lamont Hill defend Umar Johnson's sloppy ass so-called building or so-called project, ghetto project, if that, when he knows what an actual building, an actual functioning business is, because he owns the actual functioning business? Now, before I get into the FDMG progress, we already went over that, but I wanted to show you guys this video of, let me go to this, because these supporters out here of Umar Johnson is actually kind of ridiculous because these guys, like I said, they support Umar Johnson. I have no problem with that. However, you guys are just make-believe at this point.
Yo, what else do we have? Yo, Mark. You want to have the tough talk? By the time to have the talk, man. Ish.
Birds and bees? What are we talking about?
No, Dr. Umar.
What happened to him?
We have to have the talk. We've been letting a lot of it slide.
What you said happened off mic.
Yeah. Crashing out on camera?
Yes.
That's not what happened to him.
Oh, you played on some game?
This nigga, fucking sick of him. Yo, what happened?
Sick of me.
Nigga, you told me what happened.
Relax, Ish.
You told me I didn't know what happened. I didn't have a clue. Dirtbag shit. Yo.
Wow.
That's fucked up.
That's cool.
You under the bus.
What?
What do you want to talk about, Flip?
Just what are we witnessing now?
What he did now?
So, and I don't know the particulars that I've been so busy. But I can't be busy.
Yo, Mark.
I can't be busy. Goddamn it!
You ain't busy. You've been in every spaces, playback. You've been.
Yes,
Mark is everywhere.
I do show promo, which is why I haven't been focused on this other thing. An announcement came. So there's been a couple of events that I think have happened. First, Dr. Umar came on his own social media platform asking for support. He said that his personal and business accounts have been frozen. And for the first time in his life, he's asking for personal support, not fundraising support, but personal support, because his stuff is frozen. He's trying to take care of Queen Mother Ifatunde, his mother, as well as himself. That was the first thing. The next beat was that an announcement came out from him and from others that the school had been was facing not closing auction. Yes. That's what I was looking for, because of unpaid debt. Dr. Umar explained two pieces to this. One is he's saying that the state of Delaware has not given him any notice about what was happening, that they put notices on the door, but that he didn't have access to them, and they basically not communicated. And it seems to him that they're trying to maybe go behind his back and auction off the school.
Okay, so that was already proven to be a lie because Umar Johnson said himself in that interview with Father Baba, or whatever his name is, that he talked to the city in March. So that was already proven to be a lie.
A moment where he's vulnerable because his accounts have been frozen, and so he's been asking for support to make up. I think the amount of 72,000. What the fuck? Amani. $72,000 is the amount that he's looking for, or that he needs to pay the state. And there's some technicalities there around, like,
You sure know a lot for a nigga that didn't know a lot.
I sure know a lot.
All right, so I'm gonna end it right there. So what we just heard from Lennon Honor, what we just heard from this guy Marc Lamont Hill was him out here defending Umar Johnson, of course. Now let's get back to this. Now I'm not gonna go over that again, but when he's out here defending Umar Johnson. Now, I put this on the screen for a reason right here, because Umar Johnson has been the guy that can't come up with any money at any time. Hold on. So if you guys don't know, Umar Johnson has been, what the heck is this crap? I'm sorry. Umar Johnson has been sprouting around here in all these lavish clothes, but he can't, come up with the money for the school. Marc Lamont Hill came out here defending him, which I already proved that to be this fact. Like, that's not a fact, because if you actually look at the finances of the school going into 2025, you can actually prove that he had almost $200,000 going into 2025. So Oh, let me just ask this question. But going into 2025, he already had almost $200,000 in liquid funds, $50,000 in cash, and short-term assets. He had 100 and I believe I want to say 49. But let me see what this question is. It says, don't know the particulars. That means don't take a position without more info. That's absolutely right there. You're absolutely right, Miss Independent. But I want to get to this part right here. Marc Lamont Hill, who's out here defending Umar Johnson. Now, we all know that Umar Johnson tells everybody, not to buy any clothes or anything like that. But as you can see right here, and I actually looked some of this stuff up. So look at these clothes that he has on right here. He's always wearing these dashikis. He has these. He went and got him a belt. But in particular, I want you guys to look at this right here. Now, this is that video. Now, if you guys saw that video he made recent of this, he's outside of FDMG. He's outside of FDMG. Mr. I don't have no money. Outside of FDMG, flaunting this jacket. So I went and researched his jacket, and this jacket is from the NFL team, the Eagles, the Philadelphia Eagles. Mr. We can't buy any, NFL stuff or NBA stuff. $179. When you add on tax and all that stuff, it comes over to $200. But I'm saying that because this guy's always in some type of luxury stuff. Even all these dashikis he owns. You see that P hat right there? That's from the baseball team. He has his championship belt. I don't know if somebody gave it to him or anything, but I'm just saying, look at the stuff that he has on. Mister, we shouldn't we shouldn't be buying anything, as he says. But I want you guys to look at this video. Now, this video is from one of Umar Johnson's supporters. She always got something stupid to say. But I want you to look at Umar Johnson's in this video. This $200 jacket from the NFL. He told us not to buy anything outside of FDMG. Just looking crazy.
This is what happens when you have a. Y'all see, this is what happens when you have a fatal attraction. Look at Dr. Umar like, yeah, who gonna check me, boo? It's still my school. And it's the bump diggity. Okay, Dr. Umar, we see you. Oh, yes, he back outside. You can Google Dr. Umar Johnson's address. It's been added to the Matrix. Keep your foot on his arse. Child, fatal attraction. All right, go on, walk it off, Dr. Umar. Check it, look. POV, we don't need all you YouTubers running down to the school. Dr. Umar goes there enough for us and let us see what's going on. See, he giving you a nice view, okay?
Okay, so he's giving us a nice view of nothing. Umar Johnson is literally out here. He's out here in the middle of the night at this school with a Philadelphia Eagles jacket on, doing what? Absolutely nothing for the people. Absolutely, just showing off his jacket or whatever in front of this school. Like, look at my $200 jacket in front of this school from the NFL. Mister, I don't buy nothing from the white people guy. Are you serious right now? So she's out, and I know I've mentioned her before, but she's out here fronting about Umar Johnson. Now, I said this plenty of times. If Umar Johnson wanted to get that school open, he could have been got that school open. He was sitting on almost $200,000 coming into 2025. Why hasn't he used any of that money to actually pay any of the bills? Why didn't he use any of it? I mean, he said then he gets on a payment plan. He didn't pay all of it out. He gets onto a payment plan. He could have been did that with the money that he had left over. Say if he did spend that $30,000. I don't know if that's true, but he said he spent $30,000 in the sewage. Let's say if he did that, then he would have had $20,000 still on hand, $20,000 in cash, and he would have had another $140,000 something in almost liquid form because these were short-term investments that he put in or savings accounts. So it could have been savings account or short-term, but we all know short-term is less than a year. And this set of events happened in August. So all that stuff would have came to term by now, and that money would have been freed up if it was in short-term investments as he said it was, or he professed on his income tax. His tax forms. We don't know if it was, but that's what Umar Johnson claims on his tax forms. Now, let me get back to this. So we don't know, but she's very silly. Umar Johnson's, she's one of his supporters. I can't really say nothing about this. Dude, getting through this is actually kind of crazy. I mean, maximize this. So getting back to that. So I mean, he's out here in front of the school, a $200 jacket on. Mr. Black people shouldn't be buying any NFL. In fact, all this money needs to be going to that school. Where's he getting the money from? If he's this unemployed, if he can't do anything, where's he getting all the money from? So what are my thoughts on where the money's at? So Umar's in control of all the funds of the nonprofit. There's no bankers, there's no accountants, there's no board to review him. And we all know that Umar Johnson loves hotels, motels, rental cars. He's always in a rental car. He likes looking brand new, as I showed you guys with the jacket. He loves eating out. He loves traveling. You got years of video online of Umar Johnson traveling, eating out, hotels, motels, rental cars. Who's paying for all this? Now, he claimed the black accountant ran off with the money. He claimed black contractors pretty much did him wrong and ran off with the money too. There's no proof of that, of course. There's no progress or receipt shown by Umar to prove anything that he said. 2025, the world found out that Umar Johnson was behind on the bills. So he's not spending the money on the bills. So if he's traveling all the time, not spending the money on the bills, he's showing no receipts. Now he's claiming people robbed him. The black contractors robbed me. The black accountant robbed me. These people doing me wrong. Father David, you don't know. I got to make another documentary about how they robbing me and how they doing me wrong. You know how black people are. You know the talking points from the Umar Johnson people. You know, black people made me do it. Some type of stuff. But hold on. What does it say? Miss Independent said the woman also sends him a $500 a month allowance. I hope you're not talking about this woman I was just showing, Miss Dopey, I call her. I don't even know her name, but eating with Philly or something like that. Wow. If that's true, that's just crazy talk right there. But getting into this, where's the money? Where's the money at? All evidence shows of embezzlement. This is my whole theory when it comes to this whole Umar Johnson saga. After everything I reviewed and everything, my whole theory about Umar Johnson is that he's spending all this money on him. And my theory behind that is that Umar Johnson doesn't get enough speaking engagements over the course of a year. He doesn't get enough speaking engagement. So he needs the FDMG to stay going. He needs FDMG to stay going, because if he doesn't have FDMG stay going, he won't be able to get tax-free money, and he also won't be able to get free money from the people. He's been shut down. His personal cash out was shut down. The school's cash out was shut down. What was it? I don't know if the PayPal got shut down, but I know the GoFundMe got shut down and some other stuff was shut down. All these platforms have been shut down. You know, stopping the school from collecting money through their and why are they shutting them down? Because he's been shown to have fraudulent activity. I'm pretty sure somebody's subpoenaing him by now. I'm hoping they're looking into it. So now we fast forward to the school. Then we have the large building over here, which he hasn't started working on. We have the small building, which he's working on. Now, because he's been embezzling all the money, in my opinion, he's embezzling all the money. I don't think that's what I'm saying too. I hope she's not sending him $500 per month either, man. Because if she is, that is very. I would say that's very troubling that somebody will be sending you $500. And the way that she thinks, I think that people that think like her. I ain't trying to say nothing, but people that think like her, they need help. Like they shouldn't be in control of their own money type stuff. I don't know why I'm coughing all of a sudden. But getting back to this, we look at the larger building right here. Hold on, let me see something. And you can see the condition of the larger building. So he said he hasn't done anything to the larger building, and he wonders why these buildings are on the condemned list. Just look at the larger building. Now, this guy went up there. He took photos of the building. Just look at the larger building. Look at it. This should be on the condemned list. Look at this crap. It looks like a complete mess. Oops, sorry. It looked like I'm dropping stuff. Jesus Christ. But it looked like a complete mess, y'all. Wait, hold on. What am I doing? I'm tripping. Sorry about that, y'all. But yeah, it looks like a complete mess over here. You look at the back of it, you see this area right here. This is the bigger building, by the way. And you see inside that cubby right here, there's a dump site over there. And you wonder why it's on a freaking condemned list. Going back a little bit, you can see all this. This is the bigger building. Yeah, happy panhandling day. Welcome. Sunday's panhandling day. Shit. You ain't even lying about that, man. But look at this bigger building, man. It is in terrible condition. And I got these photos from a video that was done recently. Now, you get to the smaller side of the building. Of course, he has these gates open. The gates were actually put up by somebody that was at one of his lectures. And that person gave him a discount, of course. Just like the person that power washed the school, he did it for free. Once again, he has the gate up right here. These cameras, I was told they could be knockoffs. They just make it look like, a professional setup and all that stuff. Now, this is where it gets actually weird because I don't know if I should put all this information out there, but Umar Johnson, of course, we know that he's the only staff member at FDMG. He claims he works 60 hours per week. So Wilmington, Delaware is actually just 1 hour away from where Umar Johnson lived. not 1 hour. It's 30-something minutes away. But if it's a round trip, it's 1 hour. And he's claiming that he works 60 hours per week. So I'm expecting him to work, 6 days a week, maybe 10 hours, which we all know isn't true, but he says it. But how can all that be possible if he's traveling city to city, state to state, and all, within all that time? That's my whole question when it comes to Umar Johnson being, in control of the money and all that stuff. That makes absolutely no freaking sense. It's laughable. You know what I'm saying? Someone said those buildings look. Someone said those buildings look just like his mom. Hey, so I don't know if you guys seen it, but there's a photo of Umar Johnson's front door, and it looks terrible. And somebody put it on Instagram. I believe it was Lene Stacks, who, by the way, she don't need no help, man. She's handling the business by herself, man. I'm looking at her on Instagram. I started following her yesterday. But she don't need nobody's help, man. I mean, like, she's putting photos out there I couldn't believe she put out there. But the front door of Umar Johnson's house, it looks bad. It looks bad. Yeah, I wonder why folks like Lamont, Charlamagne the Guard, still support him. That's such a good question. Charlamagne the Guard was saying that Umar is going to be back on the Breakfast Club next month. Well, this current month right here. So I don't know if that's going to be true or not. But we're gonna. Hey, is he gonna ask the hard questions? That's the whole thing that I'm asking right there. And that's what everybody want to know. Is it gonna be like, because like in the last couple of interviews, they talk about it for 3 minutes and then they move on, and he goes on, his little rants about mixed race. He goes on his rants about black people not doing enough. He goes on his rants about, the usual rants that Umar Johnson always says. But I believe you're referring to this right here. And yeah, there's no way that Umar Johnson worked 60 hours per week at the school where he's supposed to be taking care of his mama, traveling all over the world, going to all these events. I don't believe that's even possible. There's no way that he's working 60 hours per week at this school. Now, I don't know if you guys want to watch I do want to get into this. I don't know if you guys actually want to watch the guy tour the buildings, but I'm gonna get into these people right in a second. But the person that I got all these photos from, I do have that video loaded up. But before I get to that, I want to show you guys one more thing. So I was over here, and I recommend you guys use this platform if you guys want to use a platform that is in reference to tax forms and all that stuff. So let me go right here. Share screen. So there's this. So I got this information just for everybody to know. I got an account with these guys over here at GuideStar, and this is how I ended up finding this information out. Let me minimize this. That way everybody know, like, I got this, where to get this information. So I'm over here looking at the tax information. That's where I grabbed some of the information from. The FDMG RBG Leadership Academy, by the way, which was given a cease and desist letter. The cease and desist letter was given back on March 4th, 2022. But anyway, he's still operating. So you go down here, and I found this out. So the programs that he has listed is the lecture series program headed by Dr. Umar Johnson. So what is he talking about when he says lecture series? Is he talking about him traveling place to place? As you guys have seen him travel place to place, going to Africa and all that stuff, and he's lecturing to people. Is that what he's talking about? Because if you actually look at the IRS subscription and organization type, it's school and public charities. He doesn't help at no charities. He definitely ain't helping at no schools. But let me see if I can find this again. If I can't find it, I'm just going to bring it up because I actually have some information that I think people know about it, but I didn't want to dox them or anything. Let me see. But it is on this. I just can't remember exactly where I saw it at. But Umar Johnson, apparently if you get the premium of this, you can get it. So they let me enjoy the premium for like 2 days or whatever. I ain't paying for an upgrade. But I was going to the finances of this, and I was looking through the 2024, 2023, going through all this tax information, and I found out that these people actually gave me the information to the people that actually does Umar Johnson tax information, which I was very surprised they just publicly put that information out. So let me see. Is it nah? So they don't have. Well, I'm gonna show it anyway. Sorry about that. I'm gonna show it anyway. Because I'm looking for it again, and it's not here. But I already put it part of my presentation on the other thing. So, yeah, so they asked for all of this. I'm not going to do all that. So, finances. I went to financials. Let me see if they show it again. Just to double check. No, they're not going to show it. So anyway, let me go back over here. And you can see it right here. These people were actually presented on the tax information. I didn't know who they were, but these are the people that apparently prepares FDMG's tax information tax forms. Are these people called Kincaid Services Group? Of course, that's the address right there. On the left side of them is a KFC. In front of them is a actually you can go on this right here, and you can see in front of them is the U-Haul truck place. So in front is the U-Haul truck place. Right next to them is a KFC, and this is Kincaid Service Group. So I don't know how that information was just linked out, but it was on the these people right here, the Guy Star. They linked out this information. So I said, you know what else? That's pretty much good information that people should know about. That these people are the ones that's I guess doing FDMG's it's supposed to be a nonprofit. It's supposed to be a nonprofit, so I guess it should be fair game to put that information out. Let me see what you guys saying in the chat. They asked him what he wants to talk about. Yeah, what he want to talk about on the Breakfast Club. Absolutely. That's all they do with him. He can talk about his begging problem. Snap. Virtual nomad, no actual home, not working. Which I can, I don't blame you guys for saying this because you're absolutely right. You're absolutely. It says the IRS form 13909, if filed, Umar is arrested. I'm not familiar with that tax form. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Lock his ass up. But I'm not 100% sure with that tax form. But this guy, we know he's we already know that Umar Johnson is a huge fraud and everything like that. But I'm like, how can they not and I don't want to I ain't want to dox these people, of course. But I'm like, how can these people not don't you have to show actual proof when you do his taxes or anything, especially for a nonprofit? Shouldn't they be showing actual proof of this? But I was given this information because I'm with GuideStar, and they gave me a trial where you can actually look at the they gave me a little trial where you actually can get the advanced thing, which the advance is wow. I mean, when I say the advance is crazy good, I mean that damn advance is crazy freaking good. But at the end of the day, my whole thing about Marc Lamont Hill and going back into this whole Umar Johnson thing is that Marc Lamont Hill shouldn't be supporting Umar Johnson. Because if you actually look at this right here, this is the place that Marc Lamont Hill actually owns, or he's a co-owner, something like that. But anyway, Uncle Bobby's. So these are the questions that Marc Lamont Hill should be asking, just like the Breakfast Club. He has his own place of business, Marc Lamont Hill does. They sell books there. They have, they have organization structure. They have everything structured and they have an operation. They have employees. They have all this stuff. Umar Johnson, and this is a very small building. Umar Johnson is out here trying to build a school by himself. The building, even the small building is 10 times bigger than Marc Lamont Hill's building. You know what I'm saying? Even the small building. So when you look at Marc Lamont Hill's business right here, here. Look at this building right here. This is Marc Lamont Hill's building. Why is Marc Lamont Hill not actually, what is the operating cost? Where's the website? Who are the people that's helping you? Who's on your team? How are you going to be able to do this? How are you going to be able to pull this off? And after 15 years, you would think that somebody would be asking these critical questions. Prince of Poverty. Amen to that. Hey, but you know what? The other nonprofit was Jackson Hewitt Tax. Oh, okay. The other nonprofit was Jackson Hewitt's Tax Prep. Okay. Now we all know that he's a Pookie. Now that's for goddamn sure. Umar Johnson's nothing but a Umar Pookie Johnson. That's all he is, man. He could build a pizza joint, American pan crust deep dish with begging toppings. Yeah, I ain't gonna even blame you for saying that, man. Because this is critical questions that people need to be asking, man. If you're Marc Lamont Hill and you do all this business and you own a business, as you guys see on the screen right here, or you're part owner of a business, you have to have these talks about what are the operations, how is our website looking. I mean, just go back to the website that he has right here. Let me go back to the website, Uncle Bobby's website. Look at this, contact information, cafe menu, events. Let's go to the events. Look at this, view events. This is Marc Lamont Hill. So he's battling for this whole thing that he's telling people that Umar Johnson is building this imaginary school. I guess he wished it was open, but it's never going to be open, And Marc Lamont Hill, at some point you got to have shame in you, man. But with all that being said, I was going to show you guys another video, but I don't think that other video is very that important to the whole grand scheme of things and what I wanted to just show, before I get out of here. But, let me go back to one more thing. Hold up. Minimize this. Hold up. Let me show you guys one more thing. So this is the guy who I got all these pictures from. I don't even know the name. I do know the name of the channel. But this gentleman right here is where I got all these the information from. Well, not the information, but the pictures. And you can see that he goes around, he checks these out.
No way somebody just gonna
look at this. The old picture, the old institution sign is still up. 2025. We're going into 2026. Look at this. This is sad, man. Sorry. Yeah, Restream is weird, man. I'm having trouble with Restream, but I'm trying to manage with this stuff. It says, I've been in the legal business for years. IRS form 13909 investigates fraud. Oh, so do people have to? So Larry, do people have to file that, or do I guess somebody will have to file that on him or something like that? Yeah. Hey, so this is my question with the website. You do know people will build the website for you for free. You can just pay them. Umar Johnson has more than enough money, and he's most definitely had more than enough money over the years. But hey, check this out. Look at this school. Look at what he's looking at. So I've shown this plenty of times. Look at this. So there's no gutters up there. So what you see right there is just mold growing on side of the building. This is the bigger building, of course. But you see these big lines right there? This is just mold going down the building. Black mold going down the building right there. Yeah. Oh, let me mute myself.
Take the water from the rainwater into there, and it should come out here somewhere. But look, no good. So I can imagine there's roof damage to the roof. Because I'm going to tell you, that's probably clogged up, bro. That's probably clogged up. And once again, guys, where the money went. Look, not even another door not fixed. This is not an attack video on Umar. This is just showing you guys the evidence, the proof. Look, oh my God, look at all this black stuff right here.
Yeah, that's all mold.
No windows, no windows.
I thought so. That's what I was thinking.
Once again, a drainage pipe. But look, look, guys, look. This should be a pipe right here. A literal hole.
So that's all black mold up there.
The plumbing is back.
And this is
not
what
good.
is Marc Lamont Hill talking about? So this is what Marc Lamont Hill, I guess, is talking about when he goes there and he sees this picture of this little small building. Of course, the gates were done by somebody that attends one of Umar Johnson's ceremonies. Umar Johnson talked the guy into actually doing the gates for him. He talked the guy into actually doing the gates. So jobs, you got the building looking yellow, but look at the cracks in that phone. Look, just a sidewalk. Look at the cracks in it. Look at this. This is the bigger building. You wonder why they're on the city condemns list. This is sad, man. I mean, this is like millions of dollars, and I think it's about $4 million at minimum. Millions of dollars, and I'm pretty. This guy that did the gate gave him a discount. The guy that even cleaned the sidewalks, he gave him a discount too. I mean, this is just sad, man. Look at the back of this building. Yep. So, I mean, just looking at these buildings, it's kind of like he's not going to be able to get this done anytime soon. I mean, we're talking about stretching this to 2050 type thing right here, if he's going to operate by himself. So why would Marc Lamont Hill put his neck on the line to defend Umar Johnson? That I actually don't know. Charlemagne the God, I think Charlemagne the God is a grifter himself. Well, I'm not going to say he's a grifter, but he loves people that come to the Breakfast Club that can actually make the Breakfast Club. Yeah, he painted over this crowd. He painted over the crowd. But Charlemagne wants people to come to the Breakfast Club that can actually sell entertainment to the audience, even at the cost of the audience losing money in the grand scheme of things. You know what I mean? We saw it with Caesar Pena. Caesar Pena is now in federal court. We saw it with who's the other brother? Brother Polite. He's in prison right now. We've seen it with plenty of people. Umar Johnson, just another one of the so-called wannabe leaders, wannabe financial gurus. No offense to 19 Keys, but 19 Keys is another one. 19 Keys is more of a I know theories type of guy, and I don't even know if he really knows theories. You know what I mean? And I absolutely agree. The man is a joke. So 19 Keys, that's another one. But I'm pretty sure you can go down on a list and you can find plenty of people who's been on the Breakfast Club who got hyped up by the internet, and now they're freaking what? Either in jail, down on their luck, or they're still they still scamming people. Yeah, Umar is a very disturbed individual. I agree. Deadbeat, recording women, dope fiend, scam. Yeah, he did scam Gideon. He scammed Gideon. I believe it was $500. King Randall tried to sue the filmmaker. Yeah, I wanted to do a video about that because that's kind of messed up. He's a liar, etc. It's just too much smoke around him. Yeah, agreed. And I don't see why people still. Well, I know why people still follow him. Some people like leaders and all that stuff. And I don't mind him crashing out. I just mind that he's robbing so many people in the process of, people that aren't financially wise, or they're not intelligent enough to see that this guy is not a prophet, but a scammer. And, at the end of the day, that's all he is. He's a scammer. He's here to, take your money. Oh, here goes that rock. Let me see if I can get that rock. The painted. And you don't even talk about the rock no more, man. That's kind of, weird. Here goes the rock. He don't even talk about the rock no more. But yeah, this is some information I just want to dump out there. Like, Marc Lamont Hill shouldn't be out here defending Umar Johnson. There's no progress happening at the school, man, that you can actually definitively say as a business owner, especially if you're a business owner like Marc Lamont Hill, Charlamagne the God. How can you guys, as business owners, just see a guy blaming black people for all his problems, that a black accountant robbed him, black contractors robbed him, and you just let them get away with them, the lies. So that's just my whole opinion about the whole thing when it comes to Marc Lamont Hill. He's a little Hill battling, I guess, a big problem. Like, he wants to battle for Umar Johnson so bad. And another thing I think with Marc Lamont Hill is that Umar Johnson is one of the educated types. So Marc Lamont Hill, he said in an interview with what's the other guy name? Damn, I can't even think of his name right now. But it's this light-skinned dude. He's heavy with the Democrats. He was what is his name? I can't even think of his name. But Marc Lamont Hill said that he wants educated people to lead the masses, people with degrees and all that stuff. So that's another thing I think with Umar Johnson. Is that bus that somebody donated to Umar Johnson? It looks like it. It looks like that somebody donated a bus. But anyway, Marc Lamont Hill once said that he wanted educated people to lead, people with degrees and all that stuff, certifications to actually lead the masses of people. So I think that's another angle I look at when I'm talking about Marc Lamont Hill and this whole Umar Johnson sector, that he thinks that Umar Johnson is a doctor, quote unquote, and that because he's a doctor, he should be in a position of leadership. It says, hold up. It says, we don't need leaders. As men, we have natural leadership skills within us. That's true. That's absolutely true. But I'm just going based on what Marc Lamont Hill said. And I can't remember that other dude he was talking to. But, let me look that dude up. Because he was talking to a guy about that. And if you guys look at their interview together, Michael Eric Dyson? Let me see, make sure. Yes, Michael Eric Dyson. That's who it was. Michael Eric Dyson. If you guys know who that is, him and Michael Eric Dyson was talking about, educated people, doctors, all that stuff should be leading society as a whole. So I'm not just talking about men. They talking about they need to be leading women, men, children, dogs, cows, pigs, chickens, everything, man. They need to be leading everything. They need to be over trade and everything. That's what he was pretty much saying. And that was with Michael Eric Dyson. Let me see. Before I get out of here, let me check this out. Let the people interview Umar who he stole from. That's a good question. That's a good point of view. But I highly doubt that Umar Johnson would ever do an interview that has him looking like what Lord Jamar, Jesus Christ, stolen words. What Lord Jamar had him looking like. He does not want to get into a situation where he's in another interview and looking like he did with Lord Jamar. People still, people still bring that up. What, 5-6 years later? He does not want that. So I highly doubt that he'll want to actually do an interview with somebody like that will put him on his heels. That's why you got to pay him for the interview. And I'm talking about you pay him and you take the gamble of him not showing up, because I think he wants the money up front now. So like I'm gonna say, like what Joe Budden said, he's still a big earner, because Joe Budden said he know how much he paid him. He's still a big earner. However, when it comes to this whole Umar Johnson thing, Umar Johnson is pretty much earning off of a fake identity, scamming people, and pretty much just a wall of lies, a whole house of lies. You blow on the house and it just falls over. That's how bad it is with Umar Johnson. It says, yeah, he uses all of them big words and wrote a book about Jay-Z. Lord Jesus Christ. So that's all I wanted to say. Appreciate you guys coming through. I do know that football is about to start in a minute, so I'm gonna catch a couple games. I didn't check out Thursday's game or Friday game, so I'm definitely gonna catch some games today, man. Especially because I brought a block on the board for like $15. It's like $50 on that board, so wish your boy some wish your boy some luck over here, man. Donations, lady. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We'll talk about. I'm going to be dropping more videos about Umar Johnson. I'm also going to be talking about DoorDash. If you guys don't know about DoorDash, this heifer, you know what? Let me go to here right quick before I even leave out here. I'm sorry, but I know we all here to talk about Umar Johnson. But do you guys know that DoorDash, and she deleted the video, but I already got the video. DoorDash. Hold on, let me go. This chick right here on the left side of the screen, let me see if I can find her actual page. This chick, this psycho right here, put a video out because, okay, so if you guys don't know about her, she pretty much said that she couldn't pay her light bill, she couldn't pay her rent. So she begged her audience for that money. So the audience ended up giving her that money for her light bill. I think it was like $400, and her rent was like another $1,000 and some dollars. Only for her to come out 2 days later and said she made $10,000 like 2 weeks before that. And everybody was like, well, where's all that money at? Well, you're just scamming people. So further down the line, she drops a video, and she already deleted the video, but I already downloaded the video before she even deleted the video. She compared herself to a girl that committed what's that? The S word. She deleted herself. She compared herself to the girl that deleted herself and said that because you guys are making videos calling her out, like I made a couple of videos, but whatever. Because people are making videos about calling her out, that she might end up like that girl who deleted herself, which is kind of weird that you would even say that. But then she deletes the video because a lot of people started calling her out about the video. Ringo TV, he made a video about this not too long ago. Let me see. There was another brother who did a video about this, and he actually did a great job because it actually, like, she literally compared herself to a woman who took her own life because people called her out because she begged for money. Then she begs for money, then gets her light bill paid, she gets her rent paid. Then she comes out and say, she was pretty much said she didn't need the money because she had $10,000 on hand. Now, if you got $10,000 on hand, why are you begging people for money? I can't even find that video. Is this still out right here? Maybe it's still. Oh, okay, yeah. So this is actually the guy right here, but not Ringo, but this guy right here on the left side. This is the guy that called her out about making that video. Talking about, it's very sad. Ringo also called her out about that, but it's sad, man, that she would actually, even call, even would come up with this idea that because people called you out for taking $10,000, I mean, not called you out for taking $10,000, called you out because people gave to your light bill and they paid your rent. They paid your rent and you paid your light bill. Then you come out here talking about you read this book, this revolutionary book, and because of that book, over the last 2 weeks, you were able to save 10% of your money, which is 10% of 10% of the money, which was $1,000. 10% of that is what 100% will be $10,000. So people called her out, and now she's out here and she made this video, and I actually downloaded it before she even got rid of it. So I will be making a video about that real soon. Her talking about she's just like the girl who took her own life, which is kind of sad that she would even throw that girl out there like that. And but that's another subject for another time. DoorDash. Miss Independent said his earning is declining rapidly. No evidence and no facts to back him up. Well, that is true. I hope it is, though. So let me guess. Umar came and took her donations. That's hilarious. Hey, but dude, she's almost like Umar Johnson. She's that bad. Not only because of the hair care fumble that she did, where she takes orders for this hair care product that she puts out, but then she left. So 500 customers didn't get their product, and she said it's not her fault that she wasn't charging enough money, and therefore that's the reason that they didn't get their product. So that's one thing. Another thing was she had a whole. She pretty much said, I can teach you how to grow your YouTube channel, and all you got to do is pay me $27. That was another ding-dong idea that she had, which was trash. And, I mean, it was really trash. And, yeah, folks are crazy out here. But that's DoorDash. And I will be doing a video about that. I don't know if I'm going to try to put it out by tonight. But, I'm going to show you guys pretty much begged for money. Then she said that she had $10,000. So why are you begging for money? Then she said because people are calling her out for begging for money, even though she had $10,000, that she can end up just like the girl who took her own life. I said, get the hell out of here. It was very sad just to hear her, try to compare herself to a girl that took her life. I mean, you don't do that stuff, man. But so DoorDash is on my list of people I need to cover. And I also need to cover that the No Jumper lawsuit. I think it was $50 million lawsuit. I will be covering that too. But Ringo TV has also been covering her. I don't know if you guys like Ringo TV because he does some odd stuff that, I had to say, man, sometimes I got to back off Ringo because, and this guy right here, I can't even think of his name, but I think this is, Cynic Media or something like that. I think that's him right there. Most definitely, if you want to get to that DoorDash stuff, these are two people that you should check out. But other than that, I'm going to back off. What's going on, Jay White? How you doing? DoorDash and Umar Johnson would be an epic collab. Absolutely. But I'm going to close this out, you guys. Thanks for coming through. I will be dropping that. I'm going to try to drop that DoorDash today. And I might cover some more stuff on that Umar Johnson today as well. But I appreciate you guys coming by the live. Thanks for coming.